Hello, it is Memorial Day 2024. I'm just going to run through what I got going on this year. Most of my plants have been in 5 to 6 weeks, depending when I got them or when I thought they were ready. We're at the front. It's sunny now. There was a lot of threat of some nasty stuff. So anyway, most of what you see here I've had before, except, so here's the Alstroemeria. I used to have a third one. I pulled that out. Just doesn't get enough sun. But these white ones look really pretty at the moment. 2 standard bedding impatiens. These are yellow impatiens that I've literally never seen in any store around me. I found these online and I really like these. They're just getting going. Can't wait to see. I mean, I've seen them online, but I've never seen them in a local store. Persian Shield I've had there for 4 years now. It does great there. 2 New Guinea impatiens and actually very large coleus. This is a really cool fuchsia. So not just the blooms, but the foliage on that. I actually bought 2 more of them this morning. And one of the coolest. Oh, look at this. Here, I just said I pulled it out and I didn't get it all. Tough plant, huh? Look at the foliage on this New Guinea. Look at that. As a matter of fact, I had to go digging for it. They didn't have this on display. They had it in the racks that they hadn't unpacked yet, and I'm glad I found it. Look at that one. For the first time, I put a second Persian Shield in. These, a tiny little Veronica. Look at that. They're blooming already. These things are really hardy. African Daisy, Gazania, Egyptian Starflower. 2, now why am I forgetting those? This is a firecracker plant, a cigar plant. Hummingbird kind of likes that. Here's another Veronica. I moved that over from there because that was Vinca. Okay, that's what those are. Salvia. All 4 of these marigolds I grew from seed. Calibraceae, these are really neat. So I can actually prune, let them wander, you know, you let them wander and just cut them back to whatever you want. 2 new perennials I got in here. It's a Rudbeckia. Sorry I couldn't wait long enough for that to bloom for you. Coreopsis. Okay. This is a Keys Orange marigold. And I've never planted the big tall ones. So I said, well, as long as I can put it in the back and keep it out of the way. Funky looking, huh? Perennial. Another Veronica. I actually pinched that one back to try to get it to split and be a little bit sturdier. Osteos, another 4 of them. This is kind of more the petunia bed here. This is the second time I've tried these Bush Morning Glory from seed, and you know what? I get a lot of foliage and far less bloom. I don't know, they just don't cut it. It's a really nice looking verbena. This is the first time I grew a petunia from seed. Now this is one of these big, huge, I think I'll have a picture in the corner for this, so I'm looking forward to that blooming. Trailing petunia, this is kind of cool, right? A lot of these little bells. Okay, so another of the tall. See, again, marigolds that I grew. These are the Inca variety. They're the French marigolds, big bloom, but they don't get big themselves, maybe this high. Another verbena, I just got him this morning, so he's just getting going. That is a tiny, tiny dwarf lantana. He won't get bigger than that. It's completely sterile. And in this corner, what do we got going on? You got 2 Rex begonia. Now these are the kind pretty much anybody can get, at least in our local store. Dwarf hosta, dwarf. Those are 2 were just put in last fall. And I love these things. Browalia, I think it is. Total shade and just blooms purple the whole time. Fuchsia, another fuchsia. New Guinea impatient. 2 begonia, but different varieties. This one is just really cool peach, you know, real cool color. There's this guy. This is a Hyamalis. I can't even say this one. I just saw this in the store a few years ago. 2 Torrenia. Okay. Here's my Japanese maple, which, by the way, I decided to prune this year, and the thing went crazy after I pruned it. It's a really pretty plant. I mean, look at that. Really cool. Even with the soil stinks and it doesn't get enough sun, it's still doing great. Now, amongst all the weeds that I haven't pulled out yet, perennial, or you know, it's just a ground cover. You can see it's obviously going with a pavement. It's just a mat. I mean, look at that. Okay, this one is suffering. This is a Louisia. This is new this year. I can't wait to see this guy bloom if it makes it here. It doesn't get that much sun, so right here. Now, here is the begonia side of the house. Okay, so these have been in about 4 weeks or so. These you've seen before. This is a new variety I'm trying this year. See, it's just a trial and error thing for me, right? How well is it going to make it outside? Not all of them can. See the leaf split like this? See, this one's all right. It's just getting going. This one is a ring of fire. So if you want to have one outside, I'd start with this one. Okay, this one will be like this later in the year. See, there's hardly any split in the leaves. This is getting old anyways. This one, I was probably not going to cut it. Now look at this one. Almost unbelievable. He's splitting a little bit. Look at the size of the leaf. Once this guy gets going, I'm looking forward to that one. This is a nice, tidy one. Okay. He's just getting going. There's a leaf right there. This is a monster of a plant, but I don't know if he's actually going to make it outside. A more everlasting or non-stop, if you will. This is a bicolor. It's a real pretty one. I got a few more of these guys. This is not going to make it. Okay, I got 3 more Rexes ordered, and this one's coming out, just getting tossed. Okay, see, this is getting old, so I'm going to take him out, and I got 4 new leaves coming up. Okay, this guy, we'll see if he makes it. He's really cool leaves. I mean, look at that one. And this one is supposed to have gigantic leaves. We'll see how he gets going. This is actually, when I got it, it was actually an older plant. 2 more of these. It's another one of the, I can't get enough of its color, so, or bicolor, if you will. You know, that's a really cool one. I'm gonna have to start pulling some of these off. They're getting a little brown. Here is the world's greatest hydrangea, and he's just about to open up. I did a whole video on that one. This is another ring of fire, so he's going to do great. 2 New Guineas, and a 3rd one of those. I can't get enough. Here's Reiger begonias. I'm not sure where I'm going to stick those just yet. I got those this morning, just to fill in the gaps, as it were. So this guy, this bed looks a tad sparse. Now, this is a really cool coleus. I mean, this is just a really unique coloring. And I was able to find this guy this morning, little dwarf. You shouldn't get much higher than this coleus. I tried to relocate this yellow Alstroemeria, dug it up, put it at the end, thought it wasn't going to make it. So I pulled that one out, and guess what? I didn't get all of this, and here it comes back. And the one I thought it was not going to come back is still there. A very unique coleus who is growing extremely slowly. So I don't know if I need to put something in front of it. This is a blood leaf, which I've never grown before. When I put it in, I pruned it, and then it started new growth, and then it kind of just sat there. I put these 3 Gerberas in here just this morning because the dahlias that I had there just weren't cutting it. All right. More of the salvia. Here's my 2 butterfly bushes. Now, you're going to say, well, what in the world's eating his leaves? So I went on vacation for 2 weeks, which I do every year. Look at this. Okay, and hardly touched that one at all. This wasn't like this when I left. So I gave it the once over. I'm like, okay, what's chewing on this guy? I couldn't find anything. I thought maybe Japanese beetle. It's even probably earlier for that. So I went over with my bug spray, but I still can't. I literally I can't find anything. Okay, Torrenia. These are 4 dwarf lantana. Every one of them is sterile. Okay, look at how, you know, not much bigger than that. So they don't get enough sun, but I bet they're still going to do all right. What I'd like to have somewhere in here is more butterfly plants, but I don't quite get enough sun for a lot of the perennials. Here's the old peppermint verbena. He didn't get enough sun either, but this is perennial balloon flower. Just getting the first bloom. Now this year, I pruned it back before even the first blooms came. Okay, because what usually happens, it gets this high, it rains, and they'll just fall over. So I just bought that butterfly weed this morning. Now he wants full sun, but I'm not sure what I'm probably going to do, and people that love lilies are going to freak out when they hear this, is I'm probably going to pull this guy out. Okay, I mean, obviously the lily looks great, but when it's done, it's just a stalk in your yard. I don't even got a second stalk going. Again, marigolds that I planted or started from seed myself. These are the endurance variety, all three of these. That's a Durango Bolero, and boy, he's having a rough time getting started. More osteos. The butterflies like those. Now, this year, I love the heliotrope. I mean, look at that, just a really great, and there's two more over there. A new Coreopsis, a bright orange coneflower. So those are a perennial. Here's another Inca. So you get the big French size bloom, but the plant only going to get this big. A dark cherry red Rudbeckia. Now we get onto the planters. So now here I got two bicolor Gerber daisies. This one is five, well, this one's on its way out. 5 and 3 more buds. This has none blooming and 1 more buds, and they're the same variety, so I'm not exactly sure. They're obviously identical environment. Got to trim these back with scissors. This is a small mounding lantana that I brought in over the winter, and here he is just doing fine. Gonna keep pruning him, that this purple one will fill out. This is more of a bush variety of the Mandevilla. He's just getting going, so this pyramid trellis thing is probably going to be just perfect for it. It's just getting going. Datura, who is really struggling. Look at the squirrel did do it. See, I hate that. A dwarf angel's trumpet, and he's doing just fine because here comes the first buds, and not all at the same time. That's what I like. I'll kind of spread around. Here's my 2 world's greatest lantana. Look at that. We're Memorial Day and it's already this side, so I'm going to keep pruning the daylights out of it. Here's my 2 vine versions of the Mandevilla. Remember, in an earlier video I said I was going to have 2 when I only had 1 before, so I'm really this is going to be covered by them. This elephant ears is really struggling this year, and I'm not sure why, so I'll give it a couple more weeks and I might have to dig him out. A plain old hibiscus, just starting, right? 2 more petunias. This vine, I need a trellis, but I don't need a real big trellis, so I'm not exactly sure what to do with that yet. I was online looking for trellis this morning. Here's another one of those giant petunias, another Egyptian starflower, another heliotrope, another salvia. Okay, now all these marigolds you see here, I grew from seed. Under the Light started in mid-February, or yeah, thereabouts. More endurance, more French. Here's another one of these giant Keys orange. I mean, it's huge. You know, let me keep that one. I might keep that one, but this one is probably coming out because that Egyptian starflower you can't see, and my Alstroemeria is getting dwarfed, and my Bush Morning Glory, again, tons of foliage and no blooms. Same thing happened last time I had them. Okay, so that's going to have to, that's just not good enough for me. This one's going to look really good, this bed here. So another Alstroemeria. Fuchsia that grows in sun or shade. Okay, this is really cool. And this is a Bossa Nova begonia. It's just getting the first blooms. Tiny little dwarf Rex. Really cool coleus. 2 of the same Rexes there. See, I just pulled out a Viola dwarf coleus, Torrenia, another one of those fuchsia, and there's look at, that's the Broalia. No sun at all, and then that's what it looks like the whole season. Isn't that great? I'm going to buy like 6 of those next year. And here is the 4th of my favorite. You can obviously tell I like that. You know, these begonias right here. There's another one. Overall, that Torrenia is doing great. You know, this lime, well, not quite lime green, I guess light lime green, coral bells. And my Lenten rose. See, look at this, still has blooms. The thing was blooming in the middle of February. So I'm going to have to pull all the dead stuff out. And here's my world's worst soil, Japanese fern. All the purple blooms on this ground cover are pretty much dying out. See, this guy just looks green. Another Louisia. That's really getting going slow. And we're back to the start. So that's what I got going on this year. And I'll speak to some of them as the season goes on. Thanks for watching.